This 1967 Ford Mustang Fastback has just went through a cosmetic restoration and is just an absolutely beautiful driver condition car. When it came into us, it was originally a dark moss green car, color Y from the factory. It was red when we got it, and it really needed paint. It had a really good body, but the paint was getting weak on it. So we sent it into the body shop and had the original dark moss green paint redone in it. It's base coat, clear coat. It's all been wet sanded to a beautiful shine, and it's just an awesome color. It's powered by a really nice running small block Ford V8 engine, 2-barrel carburetor, but this thing just flies down the road. It really runs nice and has a lot of power. So plug wires, all that's new. It's all been tuned up. It's got the stock manifolds on it. I believe the engine's a 302. I've got to rerun the numbers and see if it's a 289 or a 302, but I think it's a 302. It does have power disc brakes on the front. Engine compartment looks real nice. Chrome valve covers and air breather. Top of our fenders and stuff like that all seem real solid. From the underneath, this is a really solid car. The floor pans and frame rails all appear to be super solid on it as well. So this is a really nice Mustang Fastback. We're gonna price this to sell at $37,995, and in my opinion, it's an awesome car for that money. Paint and body is beautiful on it, and just a great looking car. Bottom side of the hood's painted really nice. It does have a little paint chip right here that shows the red through. It's got a few paint chips on putting this thing back together. Fortunately, we got a few paint touch-ups to do on it. As far as our hood gap is really nice and even from the front to the back there. Same thing over here on the passenger side. It's got a really nice hood gap and lines up very nicely. We got a little bit of a buffing compound right along the edge of this hood here. The bodywork and the hood paint on the hood is absolutely beautiful all the way across the center of it. It's got a ton of metallic in it. When we redid it, we did put new wheel well trim on and we put new rocker molding on, but the Mustang emblems, we just took them off, repainted it, and put it back on. The horse and stuff is new, but the Mustang emblems on both sides of the fenders are the original, so they are showing some wear. As far as the tires and wheels, it came in with the Magnum 500s and these raised white letter tires, and that's how we left it. The tires are not new. The back tires are showing quite a bit of wear, so eventually the car will need a new set of tires. As far as our fender gap goes, the fender gap looks real nice. Lines up nicely right here across the top of the door. Absolutely no blisters, anything like that. I mean, the paint's new and it was super solid when we got it, so I don't think you have any rust issues anywhere on the car. Door lines up really nice across the back here. As we look out across the roof, there's no hail damage, no issues there. I don't see any dings, anything like that on the roof. Another thing that we didn't replace, I'm just pointing this stuff out, if a guy wants to take it to that super high dollar car, a guy will want to do that, but one thing we didn't replace is this chrome along around the edge of the windows and stuff. It's the original chrome, so it does have some scuff marks and stuff like that on it. You can kind of see along the edges, but we did pull the front and the back windows out. We put new gaskets and stuff in around that where it needed it, and we put a brand new headliner in it. So the front and the back glass were taken completely out to professionally install the headliner. So when that was done, they were all sealed properly with new rubbers here, brand new rubber on the back and front. So if a guy wants to tighten that up or make that a little better, a guy can put some new trim around the front and rear window. It's got dual exhaust on it. The dual exhaust really sounds nice, and as we look up and down the sides of it, just a super straight car. I do have a rock sitting behind the tire right now. The e-brake stuff, I'm missing a couple of the brackets on the floor pans for the e-brake or something like that we've got ordered. Other than that, the new cables are ran and to the back wheels for the emergency brake. So we've got a lot of the new parts already done. I just didn't have the completely finished up. One of the only chips really that I see on the outside of the car is we have a little tiny paint chip right here. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but that'll need just a little bit of a touch up right there. Other than that, the quarter panel is absolutely gorgeous. No blisters, no dings, no dents, scratches, nothing like that. Another thing we did do is I did replace the door handles, so we put brand new chrome door handles on it. And the doors open and shut really nice. They feel great. Put new rubbers on it. The felts themselves look really nice on the doors. I can't remember if we replaced it, but they're definitely been replaced not too long ago. So the felts are like new. The rubbers are new. Roof rail rubber is new as well. And when we painted it, did all the jam work. There is some chips in the jam. I'm guessing maybe like the bottom, the edge of this door right here by the rubber is just briefly come into contact and put about 8 little scratches here on the rocker panel, or on the inner rocker, on the door jamb area. So it does have a couple paint chips on the door jamb area. Doors were all taken off, painted off the car, and jammed properly. Door panels are new, armrests are good. Window cranks and stuff are new, so there's a few pits and stuff in the window cranks. Window rolls up and down great. Dash pad is in great shape. I don't see any cracks or anything on the dash pad. Inside glove box liner is in great shape. We did repaint. I know the glare is terrible, guys. I'm sorry about that, but we did repaint the steering column, so the steering column paint's in great shape. We repainted down along the bottom where the key ignition and stuff goes, and the glove box, so that's all been repainted. The rest of this interior stuff here, I think a lot of that was replaced as well. So our instrumentation chrome and stuff's in great shape. Our steering wheel is brand new. I bought a brand new steering wheel and horn button and ring, and everything's all new on that. The horn works. This pad here is nice, and like I said, I'm pretty sure we bought all this too. So all this is new along here, around the gauge cluster and everything. The seats, I put in the ad, we put new carpet in it, put these gauge pieces in it, put new headliner on it, and the headliner they did a great job in the headliner. I don't see any wrinkles in the headliner anywhere. Put a new rear view mirror in it. It does have a seam split right here, or a little tear right on the seat over in the inside bolster. We did not reupholster the seats. They were presentable, so I left them the way they were. It does have the seat belts on the front. Correct console with the ashtray and 4-speed Hurst shifter and everything is really nice on it. Back seat was in great shape. There's some pictures of that. When we got this in, we completely gutted the car. We took all the interior panels, the headliner, everything out because we had to do carpet and headliner. So the whole car was completely gutted, and we took all those pieces apart in the back, painted everything, you know, redid it all, and then put it all back together. We did have to buy a bunch of new latches and stuff, so the fold down seat and stuff latches beautifully and works nice. Back part of the seats are in good shape. Driver's side, over here on the passenger side, we have just a little tiny little split right here. Maybe something kind of poked it a little bit right there on the side. So the front seats aren't perfect, but they're very presentable for a really nice driver. And that's what we're selling here. Body's really straight. Inside the trunk floor is all painted the dark green as well. Back bumper's new, front bumper's new. All these pieces along here were new. So the quarter trim pieces and this back piece here is new. The letters are original again. They're in decent shape, but they're original. Gas cap looks excellent, except for it's got a little bit of a imperfection here in that glass part, but the chrome and stuff looks clean on it. Chrome around the taillight lenses, that looks new. Dual exhaust is a little older, so it's not all shiny and really nice, but sounds great, and I don't hear any leaks on it. As we look up and down the driver's side, it's just as nice as the passenger. Very clean body lines. Just a sharp car. These 67 and 8 fastbacks are super hard to find. We don't get a whole bunch of them in, especially this nice of a driver. I mentioned before the back tires. Like I said, they're older tires. This one over here seems like it has a lot of tread left to it, but I just don't know how old they are. They're 215 70 14s. No blisters, anything like that. Obviously the lower doors and quarters and stuff like that are in great shape. They were when we started. There's a little tiny little chip right here by the door, and another little tiny, looks like a little, maybe a little small burn through on the buff right here on that very corner. So it is going to need a couple little chips touched up. There's another one right here, just a tiny one. So it's got 5-6 little chips. Other than that, it's a fantastic looking car. Does have the dual mirrors. Driver's side mirror looks like new. That's in great shape. Handles are new, both sides. Door shuts really nice. Here's a good look at our gap. Open up the driver's door. We have a couple little chips here in the door jamb. Other than that, the rest of the door jamb looks excellent. I think whoever gets this car is really going to like it. I love the color. The car's got a great stance as well. Corners of the doors, both of the doors are great on it. All the data code and stuff is all decoded, and that's the correct tag. It's all decoded on my website. Just want to kind of go over with you guys what works and what doesn't work. We already went through the horn. So the horn works. Wipers are working, and they're shut off, and they park properly. Speedometer works and gas gauge works. Over here the heater fan works too. So heater fan works. Radio, it's got a JVC AM FM cassette. I'm not sure if the car even has any speakers in it anymore, but the radio is not hooked up. The other thing is I bought a brand new temp gauge and a brand new oil pressure gauge. And alternator gauge works too, but the oil pressure and temp gauge are not working. I put brand new gauges in it. I put a new resistor in it, new sending units in it. I'm just not really sure what's going on with those two gauges. So the new gauges are not, for some reason, they're not functioning right. I don't know if it's a ground issue or what. But so we've got those for a couple things that need to be done to the car. Also, one thing I am going to do is I'm going to finish up the emergency brake cable. So. And one last thing, it needs a front end alignment. I noticed that when I drove it out here, so I will be giving a front end alignment as well. So it needs a couple little things yet, but it's got awesome paint, very solid body. This is not a patched up piece of crap Mustang. A lot of them have been patched up and were rusty cars. This is a super nice car as far as that goes. Car really sounds nice too. Like I said, a small block with that 2-barrel, I mean, it's just got a lot of power. Car really runs and drives nice down the road. It's got power front disc brakes. It will need an alignment, which we do have one of those scheduled. No pull neutral on the brakes, right or left. It's got disc on the front. They stop nice and straight. Car shift's great. I'm gonna roll up my window a second so you can hear me better. Car shift's great down the road. First, second, third, fourth. Shift's really easy. Speedometer does bounce, guys, so we want to check that. We're going to check that cable on there. Speedometer wasn't bouncing in town, but it's bouncing a little on the highway. Start off there second. Synchros are good, went right into first. It'll definitely scroll the tires through the gears. It'll drive a heck of a lot better as soon as I get that alignment done. So